Welcome back to Tomfoolery and Hullabaloo. I was really going to work on that welcome. I was really going to hit it like, welcome back. You know how Sarah does?
It's our 17th episode, and I thought, well, we'll let Scott do this, but he's not going to get to welcome you back again. Don't worry.
I never get to say welcome, but everyone is welcome. It's our Thanksgiving episode. So welcome to the podcast where the opinions are loud, the facts are questionable. Remember, always do your own research, and the hosts are powered entirely by coffee and some poor decisions.
I probably shouldn't have eaten a guisado bean and cheese burrito before I sat down today.
Look, I know what that is, but some people may not know what you're talking about.
It's like a spicy stew. It's made with jalapenos, onions, garlic, cumin. Stew it all day, and then you put it in a tortilla with beans and cheese, and it is a Del Rio staple.
Go to.
God, it's my favorite food, probably.
It is very delicious, but I would
might get the tummy rumbling.
Yeah, let's hope we catch some of those on the microphone. That'd be really funny.
Today, we are kicking off the great Thanksgiving episode, the annual celebration of carbs, chaos, and the only holiday where everyone might be judging what side dish you chose to bring,
right.
What time you're choosing to eat.
What you're putting on your plate, what you're not putting on your plate.
Right. Are we playing games and not speaking for a year?
Oh, man.
It's a tough one.
I had an opportunity to spend time with Sarah's family a few years ago, and they introduced me to a game called 42. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Oh, thank God. My brain was like, it's 21, but I knew that was wrong. It's called 42. It's a dominoes game, and it was so intimidating because I sat down at a table with a bunch of old men that all know and have been playing this game for many, many years.
Decades.
And they were teaching me, and they were very kind the first few hands, and then their patience.
Oh, it's so hard to teach that game.
Waned very quickly because I was still asking questions. But it's fun. I love playing games at Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorites. But our plate is really full today. Get it? Thanksgiving plate's really full.
Grab your stretchy pants, grab a roll, grab a beverage of your choosing. It's time for the Thanksgiving tomfoolery to begin.
Yeah.
So, Scott, what time should you eat Thanksgiving dinner? What does your family do traditionally? What's right? What's wrong?
I'm an afternoon guy, not an early morning. We usually, get up and have a family activity in the morning, but I like 2 p.m. time frame.
Ours has always been scheduled around the Dallas Cowboys game.
Never a factor for our family.
Yeah, that didn't affect you, but it affected us. And so this year, game's at 3:30. We're serving at 2:30, so we can plenty of time to eat, have a dessert, and get ready for your nap during the Thanksgiving football game.
So the Cowboys, who are they playing this year? Do you know?
Yeah, the Chiefs.
Oh.
So much fun. It's going to be a big one.
Well, I mean, I will finally be cheering for the Cowboys.
That's right.
I do not like the Chiefs.
So are turkey trots fun or holiday punishment?
I think that they're fun. I mean, that is actually what our family activity is. We get up and we go do a 5K together.
I agree. It takes the guilt out of the day because the rest of the day I'm like, I ran 3.2 miles. I'm going to eat whatever I want.
Anything we can. I actually have a really funny turkey trot memory of you and I running a turkey trot together. Kristen had to go out on an emergency trip to Pennsylvania, and she was supposed to be back the day before Thanksgiving because our CrossFit gym was hosting this turkey trot, and she got stuck, like air travel, and couldn't make it back. And so I had to host the turkey trot alone.
Me, our little boys,
Jack, Hudson, Sydney, all very small.
Not old enough to run, so we thought, let's give them wheels.
Scooters. And Jack loves to rollerblade, so I was like, hey, buddy, just bring your rollerblades and we'll do it.
So stupid. I've never been madder at Scott. Y'all may not believe that, but I was so mad at him.
Zero thought in, I just wanted...
Everything he does. Zero thought in everything he does. Typical man-dad move.
The more I think about it, the more that is an accurate statement. But I didn't get him the wrist guards or his helmet.
No helmet.
And to make it worse...
My kids didn't have a helmet either.
It was raining, but not heavy rain. It was just kind of misting, so the roads were wet.
And we have to go on a hill that I can barely
It's like a 45-degree downhill, and I forgot about it. It's not a long hill, but it is a steep, quick downhill, wet roads.
With a creek.
With a creek to the left and the right. It's going over a bridge, and I forgot about the hill until we were there, and I said nothing to Jack, and you started to say something to Jack, but it was already too late.
He had gone.
Like, leaned in full down, and my life flashed before my eyes. Jack's life flashed before my eyes. Sarah's life was flashing before her eyes because we all saw Jack ending, and the kid killed it.
He did so good.
He just glided through.
He and Cade were the only two that knew it's fine.
It's fine.
That's Cade's answer to every concern I've ever had in my entire life. It's fine. And it was fine. But turned out it was fine.
Yeah.
But the rest of the run, I was like, and you are not going to do that again.
Oh, man.
We're going to walk our bikes up
I hadn't
next
even
hill.
broken a sweat yet because we were just kind of jogging. We were trying
weren't
to keep
far,
up. And
half a mile in.
Right after that, I mean, I was just
So
drenched.
sweaty.
It just terrifying. Being a parent is hard. When you're a surprise single parent and gym owner all at the same time, it just...
All I could think is because Kristen was like in the air about to land in Del Rio, and I was like, her first message on her phone is going to be, we're at the ER with Jack. He has 74 broken bones.
But a mild concussion.
He doesn't remember his name.
Thanksgiving. I don't even remember. Maybe that was 5 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but...
Yeah, 4 or 5.
So Jack was probably 8. Yeah. Oof.
So terrible.
Never again. Always ride rollerblade with helmets. Thanksgiving or not.
Thanksgiving or not. How do you feel about kids' tables and adults' tables and separating them?
I mean, I'm a big fan of that.
I hated it growing up. I remember being so mad about the kids' table, and I finally got old enough to sit at the adults' table, but nothing had changed. Nobody had died. So I was 20 years old sitting at a kid's table.
Yeah.
It never goes away. Death has to occur to get you to move up to the next table.
Well, what's great about the kids' table is it just kind of, it moves along with you, right? Like the kids that you're sitting at the kids' table with become the adults that you're sitting at the adults' table with.
Yep.
There's no real new conversations. It's all just kind of the same shenanigans.
And I know sometimes I'm able to get us seated to where we've got the kids intermixed, and I love that. As a mom, I prefer that.
Well, as a family-oriented person, I like the kids' tables. I don't like opposite rooms. I like everybody being together.
Sure.
I do like that.
And we have been able to do that when we've put a kids' table in.
But I remember hating being at the kids' table too as a kid, and then getting to the adult table, and I was like, what did I want to be over here for? Send me back. We were playing games. We were having a good time.
Nobody told me to eat my green bean casserole. Bleh,
That's right. I just walked away, and
I had pie before they even knew about it.
Right. The dog just hopped up and ate it. It was fine.
Yeah. No, kids, stay at your own table.
That's right.
Best piece of advice I've got for you. How do you feel about canned cranberry sauce?
Look, I am not a fan of cranberry sauce regardless of how it comes.
Same. But put it in the shape of a tin can. Nothing feels more wrong.
It looks like this Jell-O blob of gross.
Of a can.
Yeah. But your mom makes something that's called cranberry fluff or whatever.
Which is marshmallows and whipped cream.
Yeah, and I tried it last year, and it was kind of intermixed on my on my plate, and it was really good.
Oh yeah, I think you need something to cut all of the heavy, creamy, fatty stuff with something bright and citrusy. And I agree, that's the dish that does it. I have no need.
You and your mom have introduced me to things that I would have never eaten before. You do what are those little?
The olive balls.
Olive balls. Yeah, olive balls. So I remember the first time I tried it, I didn't know what it was, and I ate it.
So you were surprised.
Yeah, I was like, what am I eating? What is this? And you're like, it's an olive ball. And I'm like...
Yeah, and I was like, and if you spit it out, I'm going to kill you because there's only 12.
Because they're the best thing. Yeah, those are really good. And then Brussels sprouts. I've never been a fan of Brussels sprouts, but you make them with bacon, so
it's delicious.
It turns out
and
that
balsamic
it's really good.
reduced vinegar, it's sweet.
But Kristen did the same thing. My mom used to make sweet potato casserole and green bean casserole as a kid, and I never enjoyed them. But how Kristen makes her sweet potato casserole is just candy. I could eat it as dessert. I won't go to the dessert table at Thanksgiving.
It's like pumpkin pie almost.
Yeah, I mean, there's like candied pecans on top, and it's amazing. And then green bean casserole is, no one likes it, but I love her green bean casserole. I don't know what
I saw that's what she signed up for. I'm so excited. I can't wait to try it.
Oh boy.
Because the cream,
that's a lot of pressure.
Cream of mushroom soup and a can of green beans with French onion crumbles on top doesn't do it for me either.
No, I think that's actually her secret recipe.
Never mind. I'm not looking forward to her version of it.
They are very good, but the key is that you have to get to H-E-B or any grocery store early to get the French fried onions, because those sell out so quickly in our area.
Guys, hey, they're very shelf stable. It's not like you need to buy those the week of the meal because they will.
What I'm saying.
I got to buy the Brussels sprouts the week of the meal or they will go bad. We could have already procured the French onion crisps, Kristen. So if you could get on that today.
Let's add it to the grocery
list. They may
list.
already be out of them. Okay, great. I can get on board with that. And then my final question is going to be, is pumpkin pie overrated? How do you feel about that?
I do think it's a little...
It's like my favorite dessert in the world.
Yeah, but why?
Because number one, my birthday often falls around Thanksgiving.
So you get birthday cake that
So
tastes like
no,
pumpkin pie?
no, my mom would be like, "What birthday cake do you want?" And I'd say pumpkin pie.
So
I love the
so it's not
cinnamon.
because it's good, it's
No, no,
because
no.
it
It's because it's good. If you got a homemade pie crust, there's nothing better than a homemade pie crust, followed by the cinnamon, nutmeggy, sugary delight that is inside of it, and then homemade whipped cream. Don't give me no Cool Whip tub. I want homemade whipped cream.
so
My
just
whole life,
how many years
Luby's
did you have?
Cafeteria.
Oh my goodness.
Luby's Cafeteria. I ate
What?
there once a week, and I'd be like, I want the fried fish, I want the macaroni, I want the mashed potatoes, I want the Waldorf salad, and then I'm going to end it with a slice of pumpkin pie. I've eaten so much pumpkin pie in my
Luby's
life.
when it was still in the mall, or Luby's when it moved out
So
to
what
where
you don't know,
Fuddruckers
because
was?
you're a newbie to this town, is it was Wyatt's Cafeteria at the mall first, and then it
Oh,
became Luby's. But guess what? Same menu, pumpkin pie at both places.
man. So look, I just need to know, how many birthdays did you have pumpkin pie in lieu of birthday cake?
Well, as you know, I'm not a big sweet eater.
Sure.
So
your love for pumpkin pie is a mystery anyway.
many times. Well, no, it's not overly sweet. It's kind of a savory. I mean, it's got a whole squash in it, Scott. It's a squash pie.
It's a gourd.
It's a gourd pie. Yeah, no, but, being with a birthday around Thanksgiving and being an only child, we celebrated many days my birthday. So there may be a cake day, but there was also a pumpkin pie day.
Huh. So is that the dessert that you go for? Like, it's Thanksgiving, I have to have
Yeah.
pumpkin pie at
Oh,
least.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I've gone many Thanksgivings without. I mean, I would think I would
That's
rather
an
like
abomination to
I would
our
rather pecan pie.
pilgrims. Now, the pecan pie, never been a huge fan, but my sister-in-law makes a bourbon pecan pie, all from scratch, very well
So you get a little
done.
buzz with it?
Well, it's baked out,
Oh,
but delicious. She makes and we were chatting about that Thanksgiving this week, and somebody was like, "I'll make the bourbon pecan pie." I was like, "Hey, thank
well,
you."
Kristen makes what is it called?
Pecan tarts.
Pecan tarts, and they're in like little pastry cups that she makes, and that she puts
Perfect.
the pecan filling in. I could eat those all day because
Yeah.
they're
No,
amazing.
I don't dislike a pecan pie, but I was late to the pecan. I probably didn't eat my first pecan pie until my mid-20s because I was team pumpkin all the way.
Team pumpkin. I don't know. I never.
So
I'm
what
not a
is
big
your
dessert
what
person
is the
anyway.
one item on the Thanksgiving spread that you would melt down if it wasn't there? Like, what is your favorite dish?
Oh man, probably Kristen's sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
But I also I'm a big.
Uh-oh, my mom signed up for sweet potato casserole.
But it's okay. I am growing. I'm eating Brussels sprouts all of a sudden.
Becky doesn't make a bad sweet potato casserole, so it'll be fine.
I've never eaten anything that your mom has made.
However,
that was not
I think
good.
she is a marshmallow topper, not a fan personally. I
Oh.
would prefer a pecan topper. So, Becky, if you can listen to this before Thanksgiving.
That mean there's not going to be pecans on her sweet potato casserole? It's going to
Maybe
be
there's some.
marshmallows?
I can't remember.
I mean, maybe
I'll talk to her.
Maybe we're going to see me melt down next week.
Oh. Yes, never mind. Mom, keep the marshmallows. We got to see this. But
Put
a pecan tart on it.
I'm a big turkey person too, but I don't know if, I mean, there were a few Thanksgivings where we were either deployed or we were we didn't have turkey, or somebody would get turkey meat, and that would be what
like deli meat?
Yeah, like deli meat, because they, just kind of had to.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to poo-poo on that, but
right, but
it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
My mom's stuffing dressing. It's not stuffed in the bird, so it's dressing. It's her grandmother's recipe. So it's my great-grandmother's recipe. By far the best dressing I've ever had. So when I have had to have Thanksgiving not in her home or her mother's home, I'm saddened significantly because their dressing is so good.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
I think it's a combination of it's not just thrown in a pan and baked. Like, no offense to anyone I've ever been to their Thanksgiving, but it's not.
Disclaimer, warning.
Warning. It's not that you just it's a process. Like, she cooks it for hours. She's constantly pulling it out of the oven, stirring it.
Yeah.
So throughout the process, it's cornbread, it's white bread, it's tons of fresh herbs, tons of chicken stock. She whisks eggs and folds them in, and it's just over and over and over and over. And she's continuing to add liquid and stir and add liquid and stir till it becomes consistency that I can only describe as not hardened cement, but in the best way possible.
She said cement.
Yeah.
Cement.
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 But in the best way possible. It's like it just sits there and the flavors are incredible.
You know, I
Can't do that in a stovetop box, and you can't do that
no.
30 minutes into the oven.
So two things. Number one, I thought the stuff that came in the red box was stuffing. Isn't that called stuffing?
Stovetop stuffing?
Right.
Well,
But
yeah,
that isn't stuffed in anything, right? So isn't it really
you
stovetop
could
dressing then?
you could stuff it in a bird if you wanted to, but it's really, unless you're stuffing the bird with it, which I don't recommend as a food scientist, great way to food poison everybody, because you got to get that center of that very hot,
The center of the bird.
the center of the stuffing in the bird, and you're
Oh,
usually temping the bird in its breast, which is far outside of the hole
inside, yeah.
inside that bird. So, anyways, be very careful if you stuff the bird. But yeah, it's been called dressing my whole life, I guess, because it's done outside of the bird.
Yeah, huh. I guess that would have to be what the difference is, right? The
Yeah,
dressing is similar ingredients but cooked
yeah,
outside, and the stuffing is stuffed inside the bird.
yep,
Huh. Never thought about it. I only use stovetop when I make a pork chop, an
yeah,
apples dish, and
yeah, yeah.
then I cover it with that. And then the second thing that you were telling about, that this was Mima that
No,
made it,
no,
which
my mom's mom, Grandma Sue, which it was Grandma Klipus and Grandma Hurt. Both of my mom's grandmothers made it very similarly.
but how amazing, like all of our grandmothers, our collective grandmothers, and the time that it took to prepare not just Thanksgiving, which was, a little over and above. So they
Sure.
took more time to do all of the things, but even like a Sunday meal, like they were getting up in the mornings, they were making a meal. It was cooking while we all went to church.
Yep.
And so we didn't go out to eat afterwards. We always just went back to Momo's house because food was
Yeah.
going to be ready when we got home, because that was just how they took care of
It
their
is.
families. That was their love
It was
language.
also their only job, their
Yeah.
main job.
Well,
Yeah.
very, very true. But I mean, it kind of echoes with Kate, like when he makes a brisket,
Yeah.
like he's getting up at like weird hours,
So,
cooking the meat, doing what, I mean, I have no idea what it is. Kristen was like, "You need to learn." And I was like, "Hey, what time do you get up?" And he told me, and
he's like 1, 3,
I was like,
5.
I'm okay, you cooking, and I'll just eat
Yeah,
it.
just keep enjoying
That's
it.
fine. But just I love that, like, attention to detail, that people were doing it because
Yeah.
they loved their families so much that the more love they poured into it, the more they enjoyed it.
Yep.
And it's echoing a few generations down. I think that's great.
Yes, it is. Well, let's move into our first segment.
Okay, let's
It's
do it.
going to be our Would You Rather
Okay.
edition. Would you rather host Thanksgiving for 25 people? You don't have a wife to help you. I need you thinking
Oh,
about your,
me?
yeah.
So
Host
no.
Thanksgiving for 25 people or travel 8 hours to avoid hosting it all.
Okay, so I don't have a Kristen here, so
Right now, we're going to answer
she's
this
stuck
no
in
Kristen.
Dallas.
Yeah, yeah. And you're going to have Jack on rollerblades. What are we doing?
Yeah, I still think that I would pull out all the stops and do my best to host the
Yeah.
25 people, because I do enjoy the family. And then the older that I'm getting, the more I'm realizing that traveling, while it is valued and getting to see people that live far away is valued, the more I just want to be home.
Yeah.
I want to be in my community. I want to be with my people. And I would like
And you don't
what
want to spend it in a car.
that's right. And what our three families have done, your parents and you and us, over the last 5 years, has been really special to me, because even when you and Cade are
Sure.
traveling, we still get invited over to your parents'
Yeah.
house, and we're getting to do that community Thanksgiving and building memories there. And I think that that's just wonderful. I love the tight knit family environment of what Thanksgiving is, because I feel like that is the true spirit of Thanksgiving, right? Sharing the bounties and the blessings with the people that you're with.
Right.
Uh,
I never understood growing up because just recently, this is like the last 10 years, the Friendsgiving phenomenon. I was always like, what is this? Like, we always had non-family at our Thanksgiving,
yeah,
just other people in the community, their off years or had nowhere else to go. Always, I mean, Thanksgiving is always, and Christmas for that matter, it's always a blended holiday. It's just welcoming folks into
yeah.
your home. And so I agree.
But
Which,
even in Germany, when we weren't able
yeah,
to come home and we didn't really have family, we would just invite
yeah,
airmen that I worked
yeah,
with either over for Thanksgiving to share a meal with them, or even like Christmas morning, we would open the gifts with the kids, and then we would invite those airmen over and then give them a small little gift and
yeah,
share a meal with them, so that they have a little taste of the familiar too, even in a unfamiliar thing, because
absolutely.
it's just that community is important.
Would you rather spend Thanksgiving with your entire extended family
Mm,
or one random coworker you barely know?
yikes. So I've done both,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
Which did you prefer? No offense to the random coworker.
yeah, well, I would say probably the random coworker, but because of the utility and the necessity of that happening,
Right.
like why it was happening. Like I couldn't imagine a scenario now where I'm having to pick a coworker to spend Thanksgiving alone with,
Sure.
right? It would have to be my family, and that's what I would desire. But my historical Thanksgivings, I've done both, and
Yeah.
I think that it's a little bit more special when you need each other and you're
Yeah.
spending that time
Oh,
together.
no, it's so sad, I can't. We had a Christmas where Kate's grandfather we were supposed to all go to get together at Christmas, so it was my off year, I'm not spending it with my parents, and he was on his deathbed. Instead of us gathering, we kinda stayed and were waiting for him to pass, and it was just Cade, the boys, who were very little, me, not a random coworker, but a good friend. His wife was a nurse, so she was having to work that Christmas day, and it was lovely. We had Michael over, we celebrated, but at the end of the day, Cade and I were like, "That was hard, that was sad."
Yeah.
I did not like that at all.
Yeah. There was a Christmas when we were in Germany where I had to work in the tower, but I was by myself because we weren't expecting any flights, but we had to be up there just in case there was an emergency. And Kristen had to bring the presents up into the control tower, and the kids opened presents with me while we were sitting there waiting for,
Nothing to happen.
yeah, we were waiting for something, but it didn't never came. But
Yeah.
I still had to be there. So I mean that is a special memory, but not one that I
No.
would ever like
Want to
rush
repeat
to
no. It's
redo
hard.
again. Yeah.
It is hard. Would you rather have your Thanksgiving meal completely catered or cook everything from scratch and totally nail it?
So I'm doing the cooking.
Yeah, once again, you're
Yeah.
on your island.
Yeah, so catered.
I
Yeah.
agree. Man, because it would be I mean, I cook enough from scratch, and
Yeah,
there will be other Thanksgivings that I can cook from scratch, but that would take that would suck me away from my family so
right?
much on those random days where I'd rather waller in the bed, watch the parade,
Yeah.
go on a turkey
Wait,
trot.
watch the parade, really?
No,
Okay.
but when my kids were little, we'd turn it on.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch that Thanksgiving parade
I
now.
just Kristen mentioned just the other day that it's a tradition that we don't participate in, and she's
Correct.
like, "We should really try to watch it." And I'm
No.
like, "We're turkey trotting
Yeah.
when that's going
Well,
on."
and like every 30 minutes there's another lip syncing celebrity to a song
Yeah.
about Christmas and I
Well,
mean
and
just show the dang floats and let me just enjoy
poor
it like
Jack was like, "What's the Macy Thanksgiving parade?" And we're like, "Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's a huge tradition. We should pay attention to that."
I agree. So, would you rather watch football all day on Thanksgiving or Hallmark Thanksgiving
It
movies?
doesn't matter. I'm sleeping
I
regardless.
I love Hallmark movies because I love and I love romance and I love the possibility of everything working out okay. Rom-coms are my favorite. Kate's dad, I've lost my buddy in Hallmark movie watching. He and I would sit around and
Really?
watch and Kate was always like, "Why is he watching Hallmark movies?" But he loved him. I think he was a romantic like me. And yeah,
Kristen
Dado and I
loves
would watch those Hallmark movies.
Kristen loves a Hallmark movie. I feel like I've seen them
You have.
every time
But
I
there's
turn
a
it on.
new hot lead in every one
Man,
of them.
probably why I avoid it.
Would you rather fight for a front row seat at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or arrive at Walmart on Black Friday at 3 a.m. for a great deal on an electronic?
If I have to do either one of
Yes,
these
these are
things,
the only two
then
options.
I'm watching the
I
parade.
agree.
People shopping those Black Friday deals. I
They
mean, I don't even really enjoy shopping when it's busy regardless,
Sure.
or like having to wait in line behind, multiple people.
Yeah, to save
It
$100.
right,
I ain't got no
it
time for that.
just it feels like a time waste. Like,
Mm,
I feel like my time is just more valuable than my money is to me, so that's why
yeah.
I don't see the exchange. I know that people love it. I know that people wanna shop those deals, and I'm sure it is lucrative to some extent, but it just feels like a waste.
Well, especially the proliferation of online shopping has allowed you to have a lot of those deals without the need
Yeah.
to stand in line. But again, when that Black Friday craze started, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, I was like, I can think of nothing less than wanting to go shop early
Yeah.
on the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Well, have you seen the movie, Jingle All the Way? It's a Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Yes, with the toys, he
yes.
like,
And it's not a Black Friday, but it's a Christmas Eve, and everybody's trying
yes,
to get the Turbo
action
Man action
figure.
figure,
Yes.
and it's all sold out everywhere across town, and there's one left or whatever at the toy store, and all the parents are rushing in to get that toy. Like, that scene stresses me out on so many levels, and, like, my pastor's heart just sees, like, the greed and the
Yeah.
anger, and I get that there's a comedy element to it, which is why that they're putting it in there, but it's all so true and instinctive of human nature where I want mine, I want mine, I want mine. I need to make sure that my kid has the thing that he wants, so I have to sacrifice all of my integrity, all of
Yeah.
my to get that. And what I would wish as a pastor is that instead of compromising who we are and pushing to get all these deals, that we would build some boundaries with our child. Like, hey, this is a really rare toy and we may not have that opportunity, but what a blessing it is to have all of these other things that we have,
Yeah.
But that's just not a societal norm, And
Right.
so it,
Not at all. Not since the 80s, really.
right.
It's really where we've dug a deep
Thanks
trench.
a lot, Ronald Reagan.
Thanks a lot, Reagan. And my grandmother but I may not have even, no, I was born. I was an infant in the Cabbage Patch craze. My grandmother
Yeah.
and aunt stood in line at Kmart all night to get me my first Cabbage Patch. And my aunt still chastises me for having to stand in line all night for her
Well,
Cabbage Patch.
I think we've talked about this before, but it's that generation that came out of they had parents that were raised in the Great Depression,
Yeah.
and then they were raised in the the 50s, 60s, 70s. They had very little,
They did.
and so when the 80s and 90s came around, money was changing, the availability of things was changing, and so they really just wanted to bless us with things that they didn't have. So they wanted to make sure that we had everything, and I appreciate that heart, but it just kind of created
It has created
a culture of gimme, gimme, gimme.
and waste, fast fashion.
So many things. Kids, one really good present on Christmas is way better than a bunch of other things
Junk
that you'll
that you
never play
never.
with.
I've learned that lesson the hard way, not to dive off into the Christmas probably episode, but I think there's toys in my kids' playroom that have not been unboxed since last Christmas
Mm.
because it was just us trying to fill the tree and
Right.
here's some idea, or things I thought were cool and they didn't hit
Right.
apparently because they're still in a box in the other room. Yeah, it's tough. I've even thought about rewrapping them and they would never know.
Yeah, out of
but they
sight, out of
didn't.
mind. I guarantee you, Sydney would tell you.
Sydney would be like, I'm pretty sure I opened this
I've
last year. I'm
opened
like,
this.
but you didn't unbox it. And that's
I-
why it's rewrapped.
I opened this last year and I put it in that room and never looked at it again. I
Yep.
don't want to see this.
All right. So next we're going to do the top 10 most interesting things about Thanksgiving. And
Ooh.
for most of us, Thanksgiving is all about family, friends, and eating enough carbs to legally qualify as a medical emergency.
My brothers in high school, we used to go watch a science fiction movie after Thanksgiving meal. Like, that was just another interesting thing that we added in. Had nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
It's a magical day where we pretend not to judge anyone for going back for thirds. But behind all the mashed potatoes, parades, and football naps, Thanksgiving has a history that is way more complicated and way more interesting than we were ever taught. So if you've ever wondered how this whole holiday came to be or why on earth we trot before we feast, buckle up. We're taking you deep into the surprising, messy, delightful history of Thanksgiving.
What a wonderful history. This is actually pretty exciting. I didn't know this until we started doing research and looking at it. But the hero of the Thanksgiving story is not Squanto necessarily,
Who's
right?
he?
And I think that Sarah gave this to me so that I could say that the hero of Thanksgiving's
That's
name
right.
is Sarah.
Yeah, it would have been weird coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, so her name is Sarah Josepha Hale, and she is practically the one that willed Thanksgiving into existence through sheer determination and what I like to call Shawshanking it.
Yeah.
Because in that movie Shawshank, the main character writes letters incessantly to get a library, and I feel like that she did this same thing. Like in 1827, so 1827, we've been a country
50 years.
50 years or so. She spent decades lobbying Congress and the presidents to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. Think of her as the original influencer, but without social media. She was influencing via paper and legwork. She didn't have Instagram. She wrote letters as a full-time job. Finally, in 1863, so this is 1827 to 1863 during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln said, you know what? Let's do my best. You know what? Let's give our country a day to chill.
Yeah.
As the classic
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln.
Abe was all about chilling. He actually started the word chillax.
I think he had to have. That's why he didn't grow a mustache, because you can't chill, if you have a beard and a mustache. It's only beard. It's a very chill way to do it.
So chill.
So that's how Thanksgiving became a national holiday, thanks to
Sarah
hail.
Yeah, she walked so that our stretchy pants can run on that day.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah, so they were in the middle of the Civil War, and I think it was such a hard war and such a hard time that Abraham Lincoln was like, you know what, we do need to
Yeah.
probably take a step back, celebrate something, and he got it done.
Well, and what a great time to remember, like to take time with your family to be thankful, right? Because
Yeah.
the country had been literally torn into, and now we're trying to reconcile. 1863 is right towards the end of the war,
Yeah.
and so let's be thankful.
Now, the fun twist, the first Thanksgiving may not have happened in November at all. We don't actually know the exact date. Some historians think it was probably mid-October, but Lincoln picked the last Thursday of November for the official day, possibly because he thought it was around the time the Mayflower actually landed.
Right. Little fun side note about the Mayflower. In 2014, when we were still in Germany, had an opportunity to go to England on a bus tour, and the bus tour left from our little village in Germany and drove us to Plymouth, England, arriving on a Thursday in late November.
Awesome.
And Plymouth, England celebrates Thanksgiving. Go and they drop a wreath in the water where the Mayflower departed from. And
Very cool.
they are thankful for the relationship. At least they were in 2014 with England and the U.S.
My dad's family actually has two ancestors that came over on the Mayflower.
Oh, wow.
And my aunt did all the research. She provided all the documentation that was able to get us back to the Mayflower. We have a poster that shows original Mayflower writer. And then within a year, like 70% of them had died due to hunger, disease, etc. And so in our history, like a man from this family and a woman from this family remarried and proliferated. And that's why we have two. So it was two different family names, but then they got together. There were fewer people alive, but a really haunting graphic that I'll have to show you because it's amazing how many didn't last that first year.
That's terrifying. Is that like the West line?
The West line. And so my dad and his sister and brother have a certificate like proving that we are descendants of the Mayflower. Then I've got to apply to continue it and etc. After my aunt did all of that research, she called me. She's very witty. She called me and she said, hey, this Thanksgiving, I know often they put some kids in pilgrim hats and some kids in Indian hats for the meal at school. Yeah. You let them know Hudson was a pilgrim. You don't let him be an Indian.
Don't let him be an Indian, no matter how much he wants to be an Indian.
I'll bring my certificate. You put him in a pilgrim hat. I was like, yes, ma'am.
No, that's really funny. Okay, so now, 1939, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, I don't know, I actually have a FDR, maybe I do.
Yeah, it has that real long drawl.
Yeah.
Kind of like I'm New England.
December 7th, 1941. You know
that's
what?
That's JFK, but yes, very close.
No, that was FDR. December 7th, 1941 is a day that will live in infamy. That's FDR. That's his famous speech.
I'm not talking about the speech. I'm talking about the accent.
They're from the same place.
Oh, okay.
They're from the same place. You know what would help the economy? More Christmas shopping. So he moved Thanksgiving 1 week earlier, hoping to spark the extra holiday spending.
Yeah, so we're in the throes of the Great Depression here. Yeah. And
doing anything to stimulate the economy.
Yeah, we got to stimulate the economy. So Black Friday was really FDR's idea. It wasn't, he was like, we got to get these people shopping. We got to get that economy revved up again.
Well, and the reason they call it Black Friday, if, for those of you who don't know, is when you're keeping your accounting ledger, if you are in the positive side, you're supposed to write those numbers in black.
Correct.
And if you're in the negative side, you write those numbers in red.
And I can tell you, because I own my own business in retail, most of the year's in the red until Black Friday to Christmas.
And
that's
so you're
when we go in the black.
Going back.
We call it making hay. That's when we finally get to make hay.
Making hay.
So he moves it a week back to the third Thursday. What happens? It went terribly.
It was terrible. Some states followed FDR's lead and others did not. And for 2 years, America was dueling over Thanksgivings. Family basically had to ask, okay, what are we eating? Turkey this week or next week?
That's right. So he totally confused everybody because he just kind of did it as a suggestion.
Right.
And some people were like, no, it's always the fourth Thursday. And other people were like, well, no, the president said it's the third Thursday. And then nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah, so he had to back down. And eventually in 1941, Congress made it official. Thanksgiving would always be the fourth Thursday in November, no matter what.
Crises averted.
Kind of.
Next up, the very first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was in 1924. And I don't know if you're ready for this. There were no balloons. There were 0 giant cartoon characters floating through the city.
Sounds lame. No Woody Woodpecker?
No, the Peanuts characters.
Yeah,
Snoopy's
Charlie
always
Brown,
a big one.
Snoopy.
So what did they have instead? Live zoo animals. The parade featured bears, elephants, camels, and monkeys from the Central Park Zoo. Just imagine you're casually walking around New York and suddenly
There's a
camel
Yeah.
in a holiday parade. Incredible. That would have been. Now that's a parade I'd like to go line up for. I don't need to see Justin Bieber or Michael Bublé lip syncing on Madison Avenue or wherever they are. I want to see the Central Park Zoo animals.
And somebody walked by and they're like, you know what that penguin needs? We need it to be 100 times bigger than that and floating.
Because nobody could see it. Because I can't see the monkeys, Mom.
Yeah, well,
if they would make these inflatable and
they would just float. Okay, so speaking of incredible things on Thanksgiving, let's talk about the birth of TV dinners, which is 100% Thanksgiving's fault.
What?
If you did not know. So in 1953, Swanson's drastically overestimated how much turkey Americans wanted. And so they had 260 tons of leftover turkey.
Holy bird.
200 and like
that's so many birds.
Why did this one company
How'd
even
they miss
estimate
it?
like they overestimated by 260?
Dude, that was some accounting error. Speaking of which, so I've worked in the meat industry. They send out forecasts. They're constantly projecting how many birds they're going to need or cattle or whatever. And so some guy in an office was numerically dyslexic and nobody knew it.
Just changed a 0 on accident.
He added an extra 0 and suddenly farmers are excited because they're like, bigger flocks, we're going to sell. So it was a great year for not so great for Swanson's.
Yeah, well, or not so great for our
future of dining.
So Swanson's got creative and used 5,000 aluminum trays, filled it with turkey, stuffing, peas, sweet potatoes, and sold them for just 98 cents. And boom, 10 million sold that first year. Frozen.
So that's $10 million of revenue.
Right.
Because they're like $10 million in 1953 is a lot of dollars.
A lot of dollars. I mean, I don't know how, if they lost money or not because, of how much 260 tons of overestimated turkey cost them.
Yeah.
But still, $10 million in the first year.
That's a catastrophic amount of turkey.
That's so much turkey.
So much turkey.
But that created the frozen dinner meal, and it kind of changed how Swanson's was doing their business as well.
Yeah, we all owe it all to one guy miscalculating the turkey order.
Yeah.
So here's a fun personality test.
Okay.
Benjamin Franklin was totally pro-turkey.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to change the American bird from the bald eagle to the turkey.
Yeah,
the eagle had bad moral character and the turkey was far more respectable. Honestly, I respect the passion, but imagine saluting a turkey on the top.
Right.
We're not winning world wars with the turkey as our mascot.
Nothing more majestic than a turkey.
I disagree. Kind of a strange looking bird.
They are.
They have a naked head. They're bald. Well, I mean, the bald eagle, they're called bald, but they actually have feathers.
This isn't what we're debating.
They actually have feathers on their head, but a turkey is literally gross looking.
Well, what's that thing that hangs down?
Yeah, the gobbler. It's not.
The double chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that female turkeys don't make that noise?
No.
That's the men's mating call. The women purr. They do something like that. Yeah, and then the guy's like, and then the girl's like, meow. It's a meow purr.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. Animal scientists.
I mean, I feel like I'm just watching Animal Planet right now. Fun facts about turkeys.
Please don't watch that clip on Spotify. Just listen to it.
I think you should watch it, listen to it, put it on repeat, cut it up, share it with your friends.
Just make sure Kate doesn't see it.
He doesn't watch these anyway.
That's right.
So there's something the history books do not tell you. Turkey not only was thought to be the replacement for the bald eagle, but it also was not at the first Thanksgiving dinner. In 1621, it was probably something like lobster.
Okay, I'll go to that Thanksgiving dinner.
Seal?
Not going to that one.
Swan?
Who's bringing the swan?
Yeah, but I mean, the swan, it's probably very equivalent to a turkey.
I mean, guys, are we splitting hairs here? There was absolutely then turkey at the Swansons. They were probably they probably were putting swans in TV dinners.
Yeah, they were like, well, that's was
that the swan or the turkey? I accidentally ordered too many swans for this Thanksgiving.
But also the Native American tribe that was there supporting and trying to help the Pilgrims stay alive brought 5 deer, so they had venison with them.
You know,
So
seals can survive in those temperatures because of the amazing amount of fat on their
right.
body.
So probably
I
pretty
can't imagine there being a lot of muscle on a seal. I
well,
just
I
don't
mean,
even know how you serve that.
they swim, like, swimmers have a lot of muscle, so seals have gotta have a lot of muscle too, right?
I've never seen a swimmer with as much blubber as a seal.
Well, that's true. That's true. I would imagine that it's pretty tender, but I don't know.
So the first Thanksgiving was surf and turf. That's
Surf
something
and
I
turf.
can get on board with.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of traditions, here's one that's been around longer than the NFL. The Thanksgiving football games date back to the 1870s. The first Thanksgiving game was Yale versus Princeton in 1876, before football was even fully football. That's the year Texas A&M was founded.
Yeah.
But it was a rugby hybrid still at that. So, yeah, first game that year. Games stayed at the college level for decades until the NFL finally was like, wait a minute, you know what? We need in on this day. And
Right.
the rest is history. The first time Texas A&M played the University of Texas was on a Thanksgiving Day in 1900.
Well, and it's still very close, like
Yeah.
A&M and Texas.
I
Now that they're
remember a
back to
few on
playing,
Thanksgiving growing up, but the majority were the day after.
I wanna say that the game that they played when Ricky Williams broke their rushing record in 2000, I think that
Like
one
2000 and, yeah.
was on Thanksgiving in
Yeah,
Austin.
Cade was at that game.
I was too.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
That's cool.
I was a full-grown adult, and
Yeah, he was in junior high.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think he was high
No,
school
he was
or
in high
what.
school. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Okay, we need to address something extremely important,
Okay.
and something extremely unfortunate. It's a fact. Day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year
Yeah, we talked about that already.
for plumbers.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. That's
And
Brown Friday.
Brown Friday. That's what our
There's
friend
some
Plumber
of
Joe
y'all
calls it.
That's right. Some of y'all are participating in Black Friday, but our buddy Joe is participating in Brown Friday.
Brown Friday that gets him to the black. But it's actually it's not a joke. According to Roto-Rooter, which is a plumbing company, not the thing that you keep addresses in on your desk, which is what Kristen and her sister thought it was.
That's adorable. Hey, just go get his number out of the Roto-Rooter.
Get him out. Go find his address in the Roto-Rooter. But according to Roto-Rooter, the Friday after Thanksgiving is also their Super Bowl.
Super toilet bowl.
Well, yes, but yes. So turkey grease, potato peels, rice, stuffing, all those things in the garbage disposal absolutely cannot handle it.
25 people all using 2 toilets after a giant meal, yada,
Right.
yada.
So Joe was actually at our house yesterday helping underneath our sink, and he advised that you don't put anything down your garbage disposal that
You wouldn't feed your children.
Well,
I'm sorry. Just kidding.
kind of that. He said, make sure that you're putting all of your food scraps into the trash can or into a
Yeah.
compost. And then like the residual stuff that's on the
Little
plate,
bits.
little bits can go down the garbage disposal, but it's just staying in the pipes.
I'm pretty sure I saw my mom put a whole head of lettuce down at one
Oh,
time. And I
I
was
mean-
like, what are you doing? I don't want my garbage can to stink. I'm like, but
Yeah.
you're going to back up.
I mean, we've done potato peels,
Sure. Yeah.
eggshells, all the stuff they tell you not to do. And we're like, it'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, no, we got to call Joe. It's your Super Bowl.
So yeah, just get ready. Have a plumber on speed dial just in case.
Yeah, Joe will be in Oklahoma for all you
It's true.
Del
Locals.
Rio listening.
But Russell Hardware will be open. You can snake your own drain.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So finally, a little international flavor. The British don't technically celebrate Thanksgiving, but they do envy our wonderful holiday, and they do something called Britsgiving. It's their own lighthearted nod to the American holiday. They gather, they reflect, they eat, but in a very British fashion, which I assume means excellent accents, questionable casseroles, and weather that will never cooperate.
When I lived in England as a child, we just celebrated Thanksgiving because we were there with a bunch of Americans. And Kate, who is my older daughter, is there, and they're not doing anything. So she's actually planning stuff with all of her roommates and her
fun.
to do a Thanksgiving on that Thursday. So
Good.
And she said, but I don't want to cook a turkey. And we're like, please don't.
Not in the dorm room. Do
Right.
they have classes the whole week or?
I think that this week and then half of next week is her last bit because she's traveling. She's going to like Edinburgh this weekend, and then she's going to Germany the next weekend,
Yep.
and then she's going to like Belgium and Paris
Awesome.
before Christmas. So I don't know. She tells me that she's in school.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like
It
it.
sounds like she's just on vacation for a semester.
All right, next up is from the news desk.
So I want you guys to know that the Tomfoolery and Hullabaloo news desk is always busy, always looking for good, real news, disasters, and the Thanksgiving chaos is deeply relatable. So we bring to you today real life comments from real life people who barely survived Thanksgiving.
These stories are unedited, unfiltered, and honestly better than anything we could make up. So we pulled these out of Garden and Gun magazine. These
Which,
are,
if you're not subscribing, why not?
oh, it's such a good one.
Garden and Gun?
My two favorite things. So pull up a chair, grab a biscuit, and let's prepare to feel immensely better about your own family. So this one is from Marie N. My husband, while chopping vegetables, sliced his finger instead of celery, which resulted us in a trip to the ER. I hope they got the finger out of the dressing.
Yeah. What if they just served it as is? They went to the, didn't tell anybody, just went to the ER, left it in there.
Nothing says Happy Thanksgiving like a side of panic and a bandage the size of a yam.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is from Shelley. She said a huge misunderstanding on what time food would be ready and people being late to dinner, resulting in my mom and my aunt not speaking for a very long time.
I can see how this would happen.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It is the timeless Thanksgiving tradition of the silent treatment.
Oh, man. You know, again, I can see where this would be frustrating, but when you do things like this and lunch is at a different time and is it 2:30, is it 6?
Right.
I know I've confused my mom from time to time. I've got to make sure I send out a note to everyone what time the meal is because
Well, especially if you've always had kind of a tradition or
yeah.
like you were once under the same roof and you always did Thanksgiving at this time, then expectations change. Yeah. It could be very frustrating.
So this one's from Melissa S. I dropped the cranberry sauce on a cream-colored carpet. The spray on the walls looked like a crime scene.
Oh.
I sent my son to the store to get cranberries, and he came back with cherries.
Oh, man.
I mean, double fail.
Yeah. That's awful.
First of all, who has cream-colored carpet? Don't do it. What a horrible idea.
I mean, it probably looked really good.
I bet it was beautiful
like
at the first day.
First day.
Yeah.
And then one person walked in with their shoes on.
Melissa is definitely one of those people who's like, if you don't mind, please take your shoes off at the door.
That's right. Okay, so this one is from James. He said, I set the turkey on the stovetop when it was done. It slid to the floor and burst all over. Wait. Then the dogs arrived. He had great sides that night with some turkey rinsed off with hot water in the sink. That is disgusting. If you've ever seen A Christmas Story, the dogs come in and ruin Christmas dinner. And I mean, that's just got to be what it was like.
No. And rinsing off some meat that a dog has touched,
not doing it.
It's not good.
Yeah, still gross.
So nothing unites a family like pretending hot water rinsed dog turkey is totally fine.
I mean, that just sounds
so gross. It's like that weenie water story. Have I told you that one?
No.
Save it for another time. From Danny O. My mom didn't fully cook the turkey and we all got food poisoning.
Oh, no. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
So I fried a turkey one year at my brother's house, and I don't know, maybe the air temperature affected it because I cooked it the same way that I always do. But when I pulled it out, the meat, like right along, like where the leg attached, it was just purple. So I finished it in the oven.
Yeah.
And it was the best.
Guys, invest in a meat thermometer. If I can teach you one thing, get that bird to the proper endpoint temperature. I don't have it in front of me. I believe it's 170.
Yeah.
Do your own research. Look up what temperature, and then you got to stick it in the thickest part of that bird. They often say between the leg and the breast, and then probe the inside of the breast, but you get that dang bird done.
That's right. And if you're doing something like frying it where, you potentially have an inconsistent cook, make sure that you test it
multiple places.
Everywhere, yeah. Digital thermometers are really great.
I mean, you can do it. So order it on Amazon right now.
That's right. Okay, so this one is from, let's see, Jean K. Jean said, the dog was caught licking the desserts in the other room. Oh my gosh, Jean, I hope this is not true. They said, I just cut around it and still served them. And then it says, ha, 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 ha. Gross.
Yeah, it is gross, Gene.
Because
it's not funny, it's gross.
Yeah, you cut around where you were observing the dog licking, but
you don't know what time he came in there.
That dog's tongue was there on every ounce of that. There's no cutting around it. Disgusting.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the confidence, the potential efficiency, but absolutely a public health hazard. And that family probably also got food poisoning.
I believe that somebody had diarrhea that week.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from Tara. I had to run to the store for a last-minute supply and left 2 large pans of mixed but not yet baked dressing on the countertop. Came back to find one completely gone and the other one had halfway disappeared. And a very satisfied, very rotund dog. I should have known better. She was a known cornbread fiend.
That's really funny. I'm really sensing a theme here with Gun and Garden magazine and dogs.
Dogs, people. Get your pets out of the house. I bought a dog with 3-inch long legs that can't jump, so we don't have this problem.
Well, we do, because that little dog finds his way to food.
Dude, I totally forgot. I have a split level kitchen and he'll stand on the steps and eat off of that.
Yeah. He is
Bingo,
amazing.
you're staying outside for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean, he's not just a cornbread dog. I mean, he will eat cornbread. He will eat pizza.
He'll eat anything.
He eats vegetables.
He will. He won't. He'll spit them out, but he'll eat them.
Yeah. He'll eat more vegetables than our boys will.
That's right.
It's crazy. All right. So this is from Rusty M. Sister-in-law broke her nose during the family touch football game.
It can happen.
Yeah.
I broke Hudson's tooth one year in the family touch football game.
Oh, man. I have stopped playing
family touch football.
Well, in really any kind of physical game where there are children involved, because when I play, and like
you go into the zone
times, and I ended up hurting people. We played Ultimate Frisbee with some friends. This was when Kristen and I mean, we had just met each other like 2 nights before. And we're out on a Sunday afternoon playing Ultimate Frisbee. I get invited. I told people that I love to play rugby. This girl was like, I also love to play rugby. And I'm like, great, a fellow rugby player. So when she had the Frisbee, I tackled her like a rugby player. And all of the other people were like, what a jerk. I can't believe that guy. I'm like, she said she plays rugby. Like,
that didn't mean right now. You're so stupid sometimes. Golly.
I am.
Let's ride down hills with rollerblades. Let's tackle women. Yeah, this is.
I just take people.
Trend with
I take people at their word. That is what the trend is.
This one comes from Beth R. My grandmother sneezed a pea out of her nose and it landed in my mashed potatoes.
Oh my goodness.
The dog got the full plate of Thanksgiving food that year.
But that was an intentional dog.
No, that dog, you sneeze a pea in my... Hey, here's the lesson. Don't serve peas at Thanksgiving.
These are good.
I like peas, but I don't need them at Thanksgiving.
Man, it came out of her nose. What?
Yeah.
What a journey that pea went on.
I got no notes. That one's perfect.
Yeah, that could be a children's story, like how the pea got into grandma's nose. And...
I sneezed. I shot Jell-O out of my nose. I don't like the I don't like the consistency. I never had. I was trying to eat it and I gagged and it just shot out of my nose. So grandma might have been choking on that pea and she saved her own life by shooting it out of her nose.
That's true. See? An amazing children's story. The escape pea. No? All right.
The escape of the pea. No, we'll work on that. I'm writing that down right now.
All right. So this one is from Kristen P. She said, the time our dachshund chewed off the bottom of my grandmother's pants while she was sitting at the table and no one noticed until she got up to walk to the kitchen. What is this story?
So grandma's sitting there, dog's under the table and nibbling on her pant leg.
Why is the dog eating grandma's pants? What's on grandma's pants?
She probably spilled some gravy on them.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's where she shot all her peas out of her nose.
How come grandma didn't notice something was eating her pants while they were on her?
Dude, you've met a grandma. Think of some of the older ladies. They could have half their pant leg chewed on and they'd never know.
How far up do you think it went?
Not very far. I bet it was just down at the hem.
What a story.
So I have a story that could have been written in to this list at Garden.
Oh, so
this is Sarah's. The time Thanksgiving dinner almost got ruined.
This comment from Sarah S.
This comment comes in from Sarah S. It was so Thanksgiving we traditionally ate it around 2:00. Growing up in Del Rio, my grandparents lived here. We lived here. I have an aunt and uncle that live here, etc. So the party moved to somebody else's house every year. So this year it's at John and Susan Wardlaw's across the street from here. And my grandmother was cooking furiously at her home, her portions of the meal. And we get a call that it's going to be delayed. Meemaw has gone down. She's in the bed. She's taken to the bed. She doesn't feel well. Oh my gosh, what's wrong? We don't need sweet potatoes that bad or whatever she was cooking. Like just whatever. Well, come to find out, my grandmother, who was diabetic, is in the kitchen slaving away, cooking. And my cousin, who was a teenager at the time, 16, 17, walks in the kitchen and says, Meemaw, you don't look well. And she goes, I don't feel well. I think I need a shot. So he walked to his suitcase and poured her a shot of tequila. And he walked back in and he goes, here you go. This woman didn't drink. She threw back a shot of tequila and it wrecked her.
She was just instantly drunk.
Instantly drunk, instantly nauseous, instantly spinning, had to go lay down. And she was like, what in the world was that? And he was like, a shot of tequila. She goes, I didn't need a shot of tequila. And he goes, well, what'd you need? A shot of insulin.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, why didn't you take a shot of insulin? Well, why'd you take this? She goes, I thought it was sugar. Well, I thought you were just trying to get my blood sugar up.
Yeah.
And so dinner was very late that year.
Wow.
Yeah, we all waited. Mima finally showed up across the street, all her things, just huffing and puffing. And yeah, that was the year Thanksgiving
thank God
was late.
Mima made it through that Thanksgiving.
Thank goodness.
That could have gone way worse.
It could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her MO, always letting her blood sugar get too low.
Yikes.
So let's move on and finish today off with the Hullabaloo debate.
Yes, a very, very interesting debate we have for you guys today.
The gravy's warm, the opinions are hotter, and somebody is going to leave this thing offended.
Well, it's not going to be me.
So today's topic, is turkey actually good? Or are we all just victims of holiday peer pressure? Buckle up.
Okay, so...
Is turkey actually good?
Yes, absolutely. Objectively, it is good.
One day a year?
No, I
Smothered in gravy?
I eat turkey sandwiches regularly. I love a good turkey. And
I'm not talking about turkey sandwich, because with the turkey sandwich, you got the bread, the condiments, the cheese, the tomatoes.
I don't like
You just
gravy.
roll up a piece of turkey and...
I could. I don't like turkey with gravy. I think that if you make the turkey the right way, it doesn't need any dressing or covering.
But you think it's the star of the meal?
Yeah, 100%.
You did mention that earlier, and I was so surprised. I mean, I'd rather have the dressing, the mac and cheese. I mean, give me a good roll, some mashed potatoes, cranberry fluff, pumpkin pie. I could eat that meal without turkey and be probably happier.
No, I think that the real invader into the Thanksgiving meal is the ham.
I agree.
Because most people that I know, including Kristen, aren't particularly a fan of turkey because turkey has been made wrong. And so the perception is that it's too dry.
Yeah, you
right?
can dry out a turkey.
And then they've introduced ham. And for me, you and I have a very funny story about me and Thanksgiving ham. Actually, you may not have even been there for that Thanksgiving.
I wasn't, but my dad loves the Thanksgiving ham. He's the reason it's on the menu.
Yeah,
Only reason.
Your dad will never let me live down the Thanksgiving ham. The year that we hosted, I was frying turkeys. I fried 2 turkeys, and we had bought a spiral ham because Kristen prefers the ham. Kate also prefers the ham. Your dad prefers the ham. Yep. And I just had this thought.
Another brilliant idea. Another Scott's thoughts.
Scott's thoughts. This is things that I'm thinking about. This week is really proving that I do think a lot, but not all good ideas. If the turkey is so good in the peanut oil,
sure.
Like the turkey, only takes just a little while. I did 2 turkeys. I was like, let's put the ham in the oil.
Fully cooked, fully brined, fully ready to go.
Fully glazed.
Fully glazed.
Ham. And
so stupid, y'all.
To my forever shame, as I was putting the ham into the boiling oil, your dad was walking up my driveway to check to see what I was doing.
Yeah, he could smell you ruining the ham from a
mile away. I was ruining it.
Unbeknownst to you were about
Unbeknownst to me, I was ruining it directly in front of him. I didn't even have it in the oil. I mean, maybe a minute, because it went immediately, like just shriveled, blackened. And I was like, oh no. And
you should have just brought a torch gun.
I really could have just blowtorched it. But the outside of the ham was completely ruined. But right next to the bone in the middle of the ham, it was
5% of the ham was delicious.
It was delicious. It was not worth the price. It was way overpriced fried ham.
It was like it was like lobster, overpriced.
Right. But I never have enjoyed a ham at Thanksgiving over the turkey.
I would agree with that.
I prefer the turkey.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
We're talking about
turkey as the center of the meal.
Right, but ham was the sabotage of the turkey. The reason that people are even having this debate is because either you don't know how to cook the turkey, or maybe grandma took a shot of tequila one year and overcooked the turkey on accident, and that's what your foundational memory is on it.
But I have 2 favorite turkeys.
Okay.
One is a really good, really smoky turkey. I love a smoked bird. But also John Wardlaw, they don't even listen to this podcast. They don't know how much I talk about them. He does a deep fried turkey that he injects with a jalapeno brine.
Yeah.
My favorite turkey of all time.
Well,
his
didn't he
fried
do
turkey.
he deep fried the turkey with the jalapeno brine, and then he
Yeah.
finished it in the smoker 2 or 3 years ago, and that
Yeah,
was
it's a good
an
bird.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing turkey. I love fried turkey. I don't like the cost of the oil. I don't
Sure.
like trying to keep the oil. I don't like trying to dispose of the
Yeah,
oil.
disposing of it's the
So,
hardest part.
so that is an occurrence that I don't particularly enjoy, but I do love a fried turkey. Turns out you can't fried ham. My church had our church had fellowship lunch this last week, and it was our Thanksgiving meal. And the church bought 4 turkeys, and then we sent them out into the congregation. They made them, and Patty Bixby made what our friend Joe the plumber, says he hates turkey, best turkey he's ever had.
Awesome.
And so I went back to Miss Patty and I said,
What'd you
"Hey,
do?
yeah, Joe says this is the best turkey he's ever had. What'd you do?" Well, she soaked it in a brine for 3 days, breast side down,
Yeah,
so that the
that's what
larger
most of
piece of
the
the meat would absorb that brine. And she said for 3 days, and then she bakes it, and that brine is just in it. And I was like, "Oh,
I make a pretty good roast turkey. I do a prosecco herb based on it throughout
okay."
the process, and then using those drippings, I make a gravy, and it's a pretty good turkey. It's different than John's jalapeno one, but it's been a pretty good turkey too.
So it sounds like you agree that turkey is good.
I it's not that it's not good. Thanksgiving to me, the turkey is an afterthought. It's the dressing,
What?
the pumpkin
What?
pie, the mashed
Turkey is
potatoes,
the first thought.
the olive balls.
No one
I-
draws a picture.
Hey, go drop the turkey on the floor, let the dog eat it, rinse it off. I don't need it. But you drop the dressing, somebody screws up the dressing, or there's not a delicious homemade roll on that table, mutiny.
That's absurd. People are like teaching kids about
There wasn't even a turkey
Thanksgiving
at the first Thanksgiving. So
I
this
mean,
is so
because a
stupid.
lobster just is not translatable to the everyday
Hey, I did
American.
try to do, in the spirit of the first Thanksgiving, I brought oysters the year of the rollerblades. You remember that?
No, I only remember the rollerblades.
We shucked oysters and
Oh yeah,
and
I do. I
yeah,
do
yeah,
actually
yeah.
remember that.
And that was my homage to the first Thanksgiving,
Yes,
but man, it was way too much work
it
and
was a
I'll
lot of work,
never do that
but it
again.
was delicious.
It was fun.
I do love some oysters, but I really wish you had brought seal. In
Next time I'm going to be like, "Hey, will you throw some seals into my
yeah, we're
bag
gonna
of
do surf and
oysters?"
turf with lobster and seal. We're just gonna go all out.
I'm going to
I,
end with one funny story.
okay.
The I was probably 8th, ninth, 10th grade, I don't remember. My parent decided to have a stuffing off, a dressing off. For 3 weeks prior to Thanksgiving, we had a different Thanksgiving meal every other Sunday.
Oh,
My dad made oyster dressing, and then my mom the next weekend made like a rice cranberry dressing. Like we were just trying, we were running some test kitchen stuff. It was really fun. And then we ended up having traditional Thanksgiving the third week of the month. But I remember that memory, and it was really fun to do some spin-off stuff, which I mean, well, I don't know why we had to do it 3 weeks prior to have we had lots of turkey and dressing that year, but it might have been fun to bring some other options to the table, but can't beat my mom's
well, I mean,
dressing.
just being with your family on Thanksgiving, like regardless of what you're doing, is
It's a
very.
wild time.
It is a wild time, but it's definitely worth it. I, for a long time, would prefer Thanksgiving even over Christmas. All the stuff like building up to the Christmas season just kind of stresses me out a little
Sure.
bit. Whereas the Thanksgiving time, it's just one week. Just you
You
get
hit
it
it
all.
hard.
Yeah, you get it all in. It's good food. Everybody gets to take a nap. There's no judgment.
It's peak football season.
Peak football
Because
season.
there's no college football by the time it's those, which is changing with the playoff, but
Right.
usually it was the CarQuest holiday,
Yeah.
tire wrench bowl or whatever. It was
Right.
no fun.
But it's just great to have those traditions and be able to spend time with family and friends, and regardless of what you do.
I've always said Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, and I think that goes back to as a kid. Granted, I'd spend one Thanksgiving in Del Rio. Next year, we'd spend it at my mom's parents', which was on a farm in the middle of West Texas. And I had tons of cousins, and it was hunting, it was fishing, it was
Right.
four-wheeling, it was pasture golf.
Only
Like,
time of year you weren't an only child.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Football. And there was the oldest two were girls, and then I was the second youngest as a girl. So it was just me and a slew of boys playing football, catching snakes, unfortunately, frogs. It was the most fun time of my life. And as my older cousins aged out, they started getting married, and that dwindled. That is That was heartbreaking for me
Yeah.
when Thanksgiving no longer looked like it did when I was, prime years
Right.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. And I had a very similar experience. And when we were in the States, we would travel to Louisiana, and I had several cousins,
Oh,
and my parents are from the same small town.
so is Bobby Boucher.
Scotty Fouché. Yeah.
Scotty Fouché,
My
Bobby Boucher.
kinsman. Yeah. So
Kinsman.
all of us would get together, and we would play football together. And as we all started to get older, it all just started to change, and that was
It's heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. But now we've created our own thing,
That's right.
and we'll break our children's heart when it all changes.
I
So,
know.
and this is a heartbreaking year for us because Kate's not going to be with us.
Yeah.
We're making Will come home Thanksgiving,
As he should and
as he
would.
absolutely should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, basketball season. I missed a lot of Thanksgivings once I got into high school and college. We were always playing a basketball tournament at that time. And that was another kind of heartbreaking time of life. But in college, my freshman year, we were playing in a tournament in Corpus Christi. And we were traveling up Wednesday, and we'd have to just practice in the gym on Thursday. Game started on Friday. So on that Thursday, my parents and a couple other, there was only like 3 or 4 sets of parents, got together, and one of the grandparents drove their RV, and they cooked us Thanksgiving dinner in the hotel room.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And we played games, and they cooked us Thanksgiving dinner, and it was really fun. We had Thanksgiving lunch at a Golden Corral earlier that day, which was so sad. It was a lot of people who had nowhere to go.
Golden Corral is sad.
It's already sad, but then on Thanksgiving lunch, it was double sad.
Yeah.
They didn't have fried okra. Oh, that made me sad because that was my favorite. I mean, it was just those are the moments that are, and we all experience them. We've all had Thanksgivings that were, or Christmases that are lonely or alone or out of your tradition. And man, it's heartbreaking.
Right.
But again, reach out to people that might be spending that holiday alone. Invite them into your folds.
For sure.
And make new memories with them.
Yeah, never let somebody spend Christmas or Thanksgiving alone. It just bring them in. One of my favorite memories, and this will be the last thing that I talk about for Thanksgiving, and we can talk about whatever else you want. But my grandmother, my momo, who was my last grandparent that was alive, a year before she died, she came to Del Rio, and this is before we lived here in South Del Rio. We're still up in North Del Rio. And my parents drove her here, and she was wheelchair bound, but we played Chickenfoot. We played dominoes the whole week. We played Phase 10 with her. And then when it came for Thanksgiving, she was always the one that did. She was always the one that served. And Kristen and I made it a point to say, we are serving you this Thanksgiving. We just want you to watch the parade, watch football, sit on the couch. And she had never experienced that. And we made all the food. We sat down. And then that night we all took a walk together as a family, and I pushed her in her wheelchair, and we rolled out to the highest point in our little neighborhood where it was a clear view of the Sleeping Lady Mountains over in Mexico, and the sun was setting. And we were standing there and we were just talking, and she said, I have never been served on Thanksgiving before. This was a very special day for me. And I mean, it broke my heart because she had been my mama, and I had taken advantage of her heart and her specialness, and then being able to return that to her was a very, very special thing for me. And it made Sarah cry, and it's making me cry. And that's how you end a podcast.
It is. I'm off to Thanksgiving lunch with my kids at school.
Yay.
So we got to close this out because I am excited to do that with them.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you at Christmas.